You know that feeling when you have a lot of work to do but you just don't feel like doing it and so you don't? Well, that's a problem many of us are facing. But most people don't know that it's actually way easier to fix than you think. In this video I'm going to show you 5 incredibly easy steps that you can take to get more work done and completely get rid of laziness that you can instantly use after you've watched this video. Just so you know, all of the steps from today's video are incredibly easy, and especially the last one had the biggest impact on me, so make sure you'll stick to the end. First, we have to understand the problem. Working when you don't feel like it is a skill you can learn. And as always, with every skill, the more often you do it, the better you become at it. Now, I'm sure you've heard of the skill we're going to learn today, which is discipline. Most people think that discipline is something that only really tough people have. But that's not true, because everybody can build discipline in a really simple way. You don't have to run 100 miles or take ice baths to start building it, but you have to start small. Imagine you're planting a seed, and after watering it for one day, you might be hoping that something shows up, but nothing does. And the same thing is the case for day 2, 3, 4, and 5. But on day 6, you can see that the seed is coming out of the ground and it's getting bigger and bigger every single day. Remember that a tree doesn't grow in a day, and the exact same thing is the case for building a habit like discipline. Consistent effort and input will make you more and more disciplined, which will eventually make you able to fully control your actions whether you feel like doing them or not. So in a nutshell, to start building discipline, you have to start small. And the first one is going to be cleaning the dishes after you've made a meal. Now, instantly after you've made some kind of dinner, before you're going to actually eat it, make sure to clean everything you've used. This is actually one of the habits that I personally used to start building discipline a couple of years ago. And it's so effective because nobody feels like cleaning the dishes before they eat a meal, especially because they're hungry. At the same time though, it's not too difficult of a task. So make it a habit to clean all of the dishes before you actually eat the meal. And after you've ate the meal, it's also really nice because you don't have to clean the dishes anymore. Now wait, before we continue, I actually created a document you can download for free in the description, which contains a list of all of these 5 habits with some actionable steps included that I'm not covering in this video. Make sure to download the document completely for free with the link in the description. Now, back in the day when I personally wanted to build more discipline, I was trying to figure out ways to do it. And I honestly didn't really know where to start until at some point I came in touch with cold showers. And it's truly incredible how much my discipline increased by just taking cold showers. And those cold showers eventually actually changed into ice baths. The thing with exposing yourself to the cold is just that it's incredibly uncomfortable, especially if you're warm and comfortable. You just really don't feel like taking that cold shower, but if you do it anyway, it's incredibly valuable. You have to keep in mind that with these kind of habits, you're not directly building discipline, but you're teaching your mind that you're able to do things when you don't feel like doing them. Now, if you want to start taking cold showers, make sure to start small. Especially if you've never taken a cold shower before, start with taking a regular warm shower and then changing the temperature to the cold. It's still uncomfortable, but also less extreme than only showering with cold water. Again, by doing these mini uncomfortable things, you teach your brain that you're able to do things whether you feel like doing them or not. Now in a bit, I'm going to show you a life hack that's related to the actual work you have to do. So make sure you'll stick with me. But first, it's time to move on to step number 3, which works so incredibly well to build discipline. Because step number 3 is approaching strangers. Now this works so incredibly well, especially in your teens, because most people think it's just really scary and uncomfortable to approach or in general say something to a stranger. But remember that 99% of people think it's only nice if you approach them if you do one simple thing, which is giving them a compliment. It can be as simple as saying to somebody that you like their outfit, or that they have a really nice phone case and you wonder where they bought it, for example. Don't overcomplicate it, just give people a compliment. I honestly do this all the time to make other people feel good, but also to step out of my comfort zone. And it improves your social skills like crazy as well. Now almost nobody does this, so this can work incredibly well for you. Okay, now it's time to move on to a life hack you can use to get more work done when you don't feel like it. And that's where step number 4 comes in, which is working for 1 minute. Because now it's time to build discipline by solving the real problem itself, which is putting in the work. When you think that you have to study for hours, you're not very likely to start, because it's really uncomfortable and your mind sees it as a huge task you still have to finish. So again, start small. Instead of studying for 1 or 2 hours, study for only 1 minute. And every single time that you have to work, you slightly increase that time. Because here's the thing that you have to keep in mind. It's often that the starting is hard, not the work itself. So if you you just grab your stuff, sit down and work for a solid 1 minute, you've beaten 90% of the work itself. And every single time you do this, you also build a little bit of discipline. Now wait, I have to tell you something really important. Because the first 4 steps are awesome, but without step 5, you're not very likely to stay consistent with this. You probably feel really motivated after watching this video to put in some work, which is awesome, but that motivation is probably gonna go away after a couple of days because you miss one simple thing. And that's step number 5, which is surrounding yourself with the right people. Jim Rohn had an amazing quote for this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now listen very carefully because this is really important. If you surround yourself with lazy people, you will very likely become lazy yourself. But if you surround yourself with ambitious and hardworking people, you will very likely become ambitious and hardworking yourself as well. So it's really important to have the right people in your environment. Now I know that it's really difficult to find these ambitious people in school or in work or just in your daily life. So that's exactly why I created the NMA. It's my school community where we hold each other accountable to achieve our goals and to become the best version of ourselves. And this week there's actually releasing a new feature to the community, which are weekly focus calls. In these calls we work on our goals together, so make sure you have at least one moment every single week where you put in the work. It's incredibly effective because we hold each other accountable, and because of that you get more work done, you become more productive, and you achieve your goals faster. Now if you want to join the NMA and these focus calls, make sure to check the first link in the description, and then I look forward to seeing you in the community.